we have a very special guest coming to Hawaii to meet us, and it's gonna sing a couple songs with us. I'm not gonna give it away,
Okay.
but it's a special treat.
Well, your teen years and 20s,
Yeah.
being able to find your voice and find your instrument, and you knew you could write. I love that, where there are people you are compelled. You there's nothing that's gonna dissuade you from the end product of performing it, taking it on the road,
Mhm.
pressing it to wax so other people can see you, which is bananas to me. It's just like the vulnerability, or not even thinking about, will people like it? It's just like, it's not even about that. It's just like, I just need to put this to bed, put it out, because I have all this other stuff, because I don't
Yeah.
live here anymore.
And no, but you're right on one hand, but you're very vulnerable, and
Yeah.
that is the key. It's really the key to good music and to good stories and to good performance. It's critical that you're vulnerable. It's critical that you put yourself out there just a little more than feels comfortable sometimes, because the audience feels it. Now, sometimes that can really bite you, because if someone doesn't like it, and you're out there and you feel that vulnerability and you're sharing it,
Mhm.
it can hurt. It
Mhm.
can really hurt. I don't read about myself, because I know who I am, and I
I'm
don't
kidding.
want I don't want to know.
No,
Uh, uh, when things come out, sometimes I know there's a big publication, a People magazine or some big magazines,
Yeah.
Rolling Stone is writing about me. I just call someone and go, is it all right? Did it turn out okay? because it's hard, and also mostly it's kind of the same thing. The most people ask the same questions. It's rare to have those wonderful experiences where a journalist is really curious. But I like the fact that you came out of the record store, because to me, as a record collector, I love records and have been collecting 78s and 45s and LPs my entire life, since I was probably 8 or 9 years old. It's a huge part of it. So you appreciate that people are doing that, but it's not magic. It's not magic. It's just art.
In regards to, I probably didn't state it the way I meant to, or intention, about vulnerability, um, because I myself, I'd be hard pressed to be that vulnerable and honest and share those kind of stories, even if they're like slightly veiled and imagined, because there's so many songs. I mean, it's just, music is an amazing connector and a shorthand. And it's amazing when, like on radio, there's X amount of slots. We can't, play
Yeah,
everything, Again,
right.
radio, my life. And to have people discover your music, to sing along with your music, and to come out live, to want to experience it and hear your stories. Um, what was that like? I guess early on until now, but because you've been living that lifestyle, do you ever allow yourself that moment to be reflective and be like, how did that happen? How did the tribe? I guess you find your tribe on the road, and now
Yeah,
with the internet and everything. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe
I,
I'm talking with you. Let me just put it that way. It's kind of
I
wild.
think it's,
Yeah.
to me, I guess the fact that people come to the show is like some sort of mystery. Honestly, it's like it's not really a mystery, in the sense that there's so much that goes into making a show happen.
Hmm.
And I suppose that because I work on so many aspects with my management, with the agent, with the tour manager, with all of the pieces of the puzzle to make sure that I get to where I'm going. But of course, the music that's going there,
Yeah.
for so many years, it was an 18-month to 2-year cycle. If things went really well, then there would be more touring. And so it
Mm.
would take a little bit longer to, when my father was recording, people it was 2 records a year, and at least, and so you saw that through the 60s of the long play record, and the way it developed, and the way artists, whether it was, Beatles or Stones or Kinks or whoever it was, Ray Charles, they were doing 2 records a year at least, and maybe releasing singles in between. And so it sort of started to slow down by, 75, I think.
Yeah.
The group started to be able to take a little more time and record and maybe do 1 album a year, maybe every 2 years, but it was in that cycle that I kind of grew up. Even though I started, releasing albums in the early 90s, it was still like that. And so every step of the process was like so far in advance. It seemed like planning this, like I mentioned earlier, this was a year ago, so getting to do this is like really exciting because I've been waiting a year to come to Hawaii.
Yeah.